Hey Tom, congratulations on the novel, Big Day.
Hey.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
So, I'm not really a noir writer, but this is my take on noir. The Man Who Kissed the Mule. I need earmuffs because the world is too loud for me. I've got to finish my article, Rock Formation, of the Cockshall Range for the Geological magazine. And lately, I have been having way too many migraines from noises. I found the earmuffs and they are perfect, but everyone on the web recommended to try earmuffs on before buying. They might hurt your head if they don't fit. You try them on in a gun store. I don't know why I hate noises so much. When I was little, I used to stay home alone a lot. My father worked late hours even after my mother disappeared. When sick, I stayed home, ate red apples, and listened to the records. My favorite record was Small Black and had only 4 songs. My father told me that the singer was blind, but I didn't believe him. How could she write all those songs if she couldn't see, I asked. Sometimes I wish I were blind, he said. One song was about a long, lonely road, and this man who was riding his mule singing a love song in the silence of the valley. I could almost hear the silence. Now and then a rock would roll off a cliff and crash. The bells on the mule would trill. The man was not in a hurry, but in his song he asked his mule to go faster so they could catch his beloved before she left. And if they did, he'd kiss the mule's muzzle. This was my favorite part. I especially loved that he was going to kiss the mule before he kissed his beloved. That was also my father's favorite song, and he used to whistle it all the time, until the day he died, actually. Another song, my favorite, was called Dolphin Land. Blue waves roll in, green, no blue, like millions of chameleons. Are delicate like kisses. Somewhere out there is Dolphin Land and the city called Porcupine. The record crackled and made dry noises. It was old and had scratches, so sometimes the needle jumped and skipped words, but it never bothered me. I could see the white houses on the green slopes and the rolling waves. My father had a German atlas with color photographs in the back, and I found the village that looked precisely like Porcupine City. It was in Australia. The record sang, and I agreed with her. It is far. So what? I will sail there like everyone else. Oh my, what will happen to this land without me? The palm trees will wither without me. The roses will wilt without me. The nightingales will not sing without me. That's what is going to happen without me. Then the song got sad. I know, but how many times the liner called Princess Sapphire left without me? How can I forget about it? I imagined the blue and white cruiser I had seen at the embankment one day, a floating city soaring above the water. And it did leave without me, it was true. Then the saddest part came. And yesterday a letter arrived with a postal stamp of Dolphin Land, white envelopes from the post office, tear like magnolia buds, smell like jasmine, but that's what the letter said. The palms without you do not wither, the roses without you do not wilt, and the birds are still singing without you. How is it possible without me? Without me, I sang alone, licking the tears of the apple. The waves roll in blue, no green. The tears roll bitter. I'll wipe them away, dry them. The song ended well, though. It didn't promise anything, but the woman sang, somewhere there is Dolphin Land, and the island called Porcupine, and it did sound like a promise. And then the song ended, but the record still went round and round and round. It was quiet at home. All I could hear were the cracks of the record, the cat's sleepy breathing, and the neighbor's radio playing piano. Sometimes I fell asleep in this sweet silence and had dreams of Australia, Dolphin Land, and the Princess Sapphire sailing off with me on board. I lost this record. I looked for it in vain everywhere after my father died, in the attic and among his records, old geological magazines and science books. Never since then I could find the perfect silence. I live alone. I never lived with a boyfriend or a roommate for longer than a couple of weeks. And I don't have pets because I have allergies. It is still too noisy. The ambulance outside, the crowds, no nightingales where I live. At night, beggars, drunks, occasional gunshots. I don't have a landline, and I keep my cell phone on mute at all times. No one calls anyway, but I hear the phones ringing from the neighbor upstairs. I always have my windows closed, but the sounds trickle in. On Saturday, I go to the gun shop to buy earmuffs. The salesman, Antonio, Tony he says, but I prefer Antonio, has slick hair and an earring, eyes long and shiny like plums. I try on a pair of pink earmuffs made by Winchester. They hug my head and the world sinks into silence. I still can read Antonio's lips. Thanks, good for you. What kind of gun do you have? Oh, I don't have a gun. You have a baby? No, no babies. I'm finishing my thesis, doing some writing, need to focus. These are perfect, I'll take them. I take off the earmuffs, he smiles at me, his teeth even but yellow. He's chewing gum and it smells fruity. You should get a gun, he says. A woman like you will look good with a gun. And then he shows me guns and knives and talks about bullets and his bulldog. He smiles a lot. He puts my earmuffs in a bag and says, "Want to take a shooting lesson, baby?" I never wanted a shooting lesson and I don't have time, but I say yes. I stopped dating a while ago. It only distracted me from my work. It is not a date, I tell myself. It is a shooting lesson. Antonia takes me to an outside shooting range. It's a perfect setting for romance. I can see it now. The sun is going down. I wear my pink earmuffs. It's still really loud. He holds my hand with his and shows me how to load and reload a small pistol and how to aim. The pistol is not pink. It is heavy and steely, but it feels like a toy. I like the smell of smoke and the way it recoils in my hand. Antonia clips a target to the board. I can hardly see the thin white rings on the black, but as I take the pistol and squint one eye, everything transforms. The pistol is a part of me. It is me and the target. Nothing else exists in the world. An invisible line links my steel hand to the red dot on the target. I hear the perfect silence again. And as I push the trigger, I feel the bullet's trajectory. I am the bullet and I am the flight. Burning, penetrating, hot. The paper explodes and I feel the triumph I didn't feel since I was a child and ran first in a race. "You are a sniper," says Antonia. "Look at this." I keep shooting. All bullets packed in bullseye. My heart is beating fast. Antonia hugs me, his eyes shining. "Baby, you're a chimp. Can I come over?" He's chewing gum as fruity and his eyelashes are long. "Sure," I say. At my place we have burritos and ice cream. He then starts kissing me and I feel nothing, except for his mouth is too wet. At the range, I thought I wanted him. In my bedroom, I look at him and I wonder, what is he doing here? But I didn't have sex for so long, so we have sex. He is sloppy, smelly, all wrong, doesn't know what he's doing, and in 5 minutes he's asleep, snoring a little. That's probably why I don't have sex anymore. It's always the same. When I was little, I dreamed of a man riding to me in a mule carriage, singing quietly. The man who'd kiss the mule. He never arrived. Antonio is smiling in his sleep. I'm not asleep. I'm thinking. Tomorrow, I will go to his store and buy this pistol so I can go shooting every week by myself. I will fill in whatever the paperwork is needed. I'll carry the gun in my purse next to my checkbook and my father's keychain in the shape of a globe. I will never see Antonio. I don't need him. I don't need anyone. I have my pink passive earmuffs and the gun. I have my perfect silence. Somewhere there is Dolphin Land and the island called Porcupine.
The notes were found on the floor next to the body. Suspected cause of death, suicide.